What did you do?
What I had to.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And today we're finally covering Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Oh my gosh!
Yes! And this is the film that we have been waiting for. And the fans. For years. And Sonic begrudgingly teams up with Dr. Robotnik to stop a new threat that even he can't defeat. Shadow. My Shadow, the Hedgehog. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, click on future podcasts, and want to pause videos.
I'll show you his ultimate power. And thank you for joining us and subscribing
to say
today. And following our channel, sharing our videos, everything you do, including watching some of this awesome cinema like Sonic 3 with us.
Yes.
We appreciate you so much.
Yes. Yes, we've been wanting to cover this for a while. I just had to find the time to actually put it somewhere. Mm-hmm. We actually got to see this time not long after everyone else. And it was a relief because we got to avoid all the spoilers that were coming out.
Yes.
Because people were excited for this from the time they had the second Sonic movie out. Then they had the trailer and everyone was losing their minds because Shadow was going to be in it. And in one of the great, rare times, the movie lived up to the hype of the trailer.
Yes.
And to all the promotion because they promoted this like crazy and it paid off.
And before we get to details, Keanu Reeves showed us his ultimate power.
Yes!
Fantastic casting. They couldn't have done better.
Yes!
So for those of you who may not be up to date, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, released in 2024. It's considered an action-adventure comedy based on the Sonic video game series. Mm-hmm. It's the third film, that's why it's called 3, directed by Jeff Fowler and written by Pat Casey, Josh Miller, and John Whittington. Mm-hmm. The entire cast from the first movie, the main characters return. We'll go over that later with a few new people like Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
And this was box office success.
Yes.
A budget of $122 million, earning to date over $491 million worldwide. Mm-hmm. Runtime 110 minutes. Releasing in December. And at first when we heard December, we were like not sure if that was a good idea. But it's Sonic. Whenever you release Sonic, it's a good idea.
Yes. And it went up against Mufasa, the Lion King at the time because Disney wanted to compete with the movie to get more box office. And Mufasa, they claimed outdid Sonic 3. And this is one of the rare cases where people said, no, we know this is a lie. Mm-hmm. Because they immediately want to say out the gate they were number one movie in the world, and America, and in the homes, and in this. And people kept, and people kept saying, no, you're not. Right. In this universe, yeah.
Whatever spin they needed to put on it, they were doing it.
And they were pushing it so hard to prove that Mufasa and Disney could beat it out. This is one of the rare times they said, no, you didn't. And even shows that Disney had even told the theaters and bribed them to not put Sonic in certain theaters.
They probably told them, if you don't do it, we won't put our movies there.
Right.
They didn't bribe them.
I thought
they weren't nice. They probably threatened them because that's what Disney did.
Yeah, so the Sonic 3 probably would have made even more than this.
So the facts for you, Sonic came out December 10th. Mufasa was released December 9th.
Right, one day apart.
And the 20th, all over the U.S.
Yeah.
So Sonic, let me get it straight for you guys. I'm sorry. Sonic released December 10th at the Empire Leicester Square, and then December 20th in the U.S. the same day that Mufasa released in the U.S. It had a runtime of 118 minutes, a budget of $200 overinflated million. They claim to date they've made $721 million.
Now, Shadow would disagree.
And so would we. And the music with Lin-Manuel Miranda didn't help. Brother! It didn't help.
Unfortunately.
And I don't care if you get upset with me. That is affectation.
Okay. So now, back to the actual real movie with Sonic. We all had high expectations. We were slightly concerned because sometimes films tend to drop the ball when it comes to sequels. Mm-hmm. And they've given us 2 great movies already, and the third one already was going to have shadows, so it was already a lot riding on it. And there was even concern about how they were going to portray the story, because if you're familiar with the Sonic games and Shadow's backstory and what happens with Maria, there was a lot of concern on how it was going to be handled in this film, because it was pretty tragic, not graphic, but it graphic in terms of how it happened. But you know what happened to this character. People were scared about how they're gonna have Maria in this movie, and we got eventually bring up how that's actually ended up being one of the best parts of the movie.
We will definitely. So before we get to that, let's talk about the marketing. It was brilliant.
Yes, all over the place.
Fantastic, and it was fun, and they had sense enough to make it enjoyable, and they know how to reference right.
Yes, definitely, because to promote it coming out before the holidays, they had a ton of Christmas parody posters of all the classics that you love. They had these huge Golden Ring premieres in Los Angeles and different places in the U.S. They had a Shibuya exhibit where they had Sonic and Shadow fighting on the buildings, and it's like it looked real. It's like they went all out on marketing this movie. And it's almost hard to believe you hadn't seen this type of marketing done right in a while. And yes, we know we have Barbie, we know we have Wicked, we know that Deadpool and Wolverine. And I guess you could say Deadpool and Wolverine did the marketing well too, because people were hyped. But Sonic seemed to really elevate it even higher, somehow, some way. And we just were brace ourselves to watch, and again, we were not disappointed. The movie just starts off the bat with awesomeness. Yes. It immediately starts with Shadow. Just like out the gate. They even like try to build him up. They just start up. Okay, he breaks out.
And we put a lot of those up here for you to see while we are doing this. So in case you missed some of them.
Yes.
You are able to enjoy them.
Yes.
And they were just so much fun, especially the Grinch.
Yes.
Especially the especially the Christmas Vacation one.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, and we loved Home Alone and Elf and others.
Yes. They were fun, and it was brilliant, and
even made a little stop motion short for it too.
Yes. So if you were able to participate and enjoy those abroad, hooray!
Hooray!
So now to the movie itself.
Yes.
As Rascal says, it did not disappoint. Keanu Reeves just fit right in with everyone else.
Yes.
And again, we had the return of the original cast. So all of the humans returned.
Yes.
And all of the, I keep wanting to call them aliens, but
the voice actor.
I'm going to say the game characters.
Yes, I guess to say that.
Well.
Yeah. And definitely have to bring up, because people were already ecstatic to have Keanu Reeves. Some were a little not sure because they're concerned he wasn't going to deliver well. But I will say this, and I mentioned this on Twitter, that, you know, we were excited anyway. You have John Wick as Shadow, and it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But what's even better is that after you see him a few minutes in the role in his introduction, and you hear him for a while, yes, you hear Keanu Reeves, but after a while, he's so immersed in the role, you just stop thinking Keanu Reeves, you start saying Shadow.
That's so true. And that was my concern, was I just going to hear Keanu's voice the whole time. But no, he morphed into Shadow, and he showed you his ultimate power. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
And as you said, you forgot about all of that, and you were just enjoying the movie. And at the end, of course, I kept asking you, is he gone? Is he gone? Is he gone? Is he gone? And you're like, no.
Well, they can't.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And you're like,
no.
They can't. He's fine. I was so upset.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other people were.
Yeah.
But back to the beginning of the film. We got Knuckles and Sonic and Tails back, being the kids of Natty and the Donut Lord.
Yes. And that's undoubtedly one of people's favorite parts of this movie, of this Wachowski family. You just love every time they're just on screen together. So you have something to keep you occupied while you wait for the action. And what's funny is that they're just like hanging out, and all of a sudden government comes in and is like, hey, we need you, and you're like, you need us every movie. It's what message you make that I have to fix. It's like, Sonic, stop it.
So that was one of the great parts of the movie. And a second great part was actually Jim Carrey playing Robotnik and his own grandfather.
Yes!
And he did fantastic. It was the same thing. You were like, okay, we're going to think Jim Carrey, but you didn't.
Right.
You didn't think it's him doing two roles. You were thinking it was his grandfather.
Yes.
And the montage and the scenes they had were absolutely brilliant and fantastic. And how he was introduced, where he had gained a lot of weight.
Yes.
And facial hair. And
Yes.
He was just a bum.
He's 104 years old.
Not the grandfather, I mean.
Oh, yes. Robotnik
before
himself.
He
yes.
shaved and
yes.
got himself together.
It was
too.
like they made the chubby Thor funny. It was
Yes.
like they did it better.
Yes. And that was a strikeout to Disney
Yes.
and Marvel. It definitely was. That was not a coincidence.
Yes.
So that got the movie rolling. And we got to see, as you said, the story between Shadow and Maria. I wasn't really familiar with it, and so I got to experience it for the first time in this movie. And the way that I saw it, I would say, is well done.
Yes.
It wasn't graphic. The violence wasn't graphic.
Yes.
You had to understand what happened, but you didn't see it.
Right.
And that was really the great way to go, especially with the majority, probably, of people watching this being children.
Yes. And another reason why it worked for so many was that when you had the games, like you haven't seen the cutscenes of the games before. Most you saw was Sonic X. And usually they show Shadow Maria and Sonic Boom. And well, she wasn't even in that. They left her out. You see Shadow Maria in the backstory. Most of the time you see them talk. And then you see them trying to run away. You see the incident happen with Maria. And then she sends them to Earth. That's usually how it goes. You don't get that much. But you are supposed to understand this is really a heavy thing for the character. What I like here is that you got to see them have a relationship. You were just kind of told, they were talking, and then it's over. But this was the first time you actually had the two of them spend time together. And people have criticized, well, there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue. You didn't really need it. They reversed it. They had dialogue later, but in here you got to see them be pretty much siblings for each other, and Shadow was actually happy for a while, and you understood why Maria was there because they gave you hints without directly addressing the illness. They played it straight, and they just had them have a relationship here, and you immediately loved it.
Yes.
That's why when they had the incident happen, it made it hurt much worse. You're like, oh gosh, you know what's coming, you wish it didn't come.
And I like seeing this side of Shadow.
Yes.
And his cute little sweet smile. I loved it. And then you got to see all heck break loose.
Yes.
And find out that you thought Robotnik is crazy, but his grandfather was even crazier.
Somehow,
than him.
yes.
It seems like he had been morphed by grief.
Yes.
Because of what happened to the granddaughter.
Like Shadow, yes.
Yeah. And yeah, he turned out not so nice. And the fun he had with him, conning him, you enjoyed it. But then you learned he really didn't give a crap about Robotnik or anything else, and he wanted to destroy the world.
Yes.
Not in a Pinky in the Brain way.
No, literally destroy the world. And they really well adapted the two storylines from Sonic Adventure 2 is considered one of the best Sonic games, and Shadow's own game, because they even do direct references in a lot of the scenes. And they even played Live and Learn during it, because people say if you're going to have Shadow, you're going to have to play the song, and they did it. So they really did their homework and did justice to the games and adapted them into the movie.
We also got to see Maddie and Donut Lord. Yes, I know his name is Tom.
Yes, but we
go undercover, and that was more fun than it should have been. It was really
right.
Really
they got to be more involved,
and then indirectly you got to see her sister and her husband.
Yes, that was actually pretty cool. They did that,
and they went undercover as them. That was fun.
Yes,
all of them were involved in the movie.
Yes,
it was just great. It was perfect from beginning to end. It couldn't have been better, and I'm so grateful that we got a 3.
Yes. And another thing we have to bring up is that, what people really love about this outside the action is the family element and family dynamic. And you just accept they are a family and that's it.
Yes.
And they have that parallel with Shadow, who lost his family. And they really play that so well in here. You have Sonic has his, Shadow lost his pretty much all
and
together.
We just wanted him to take Shadow home.
Oh my gosh, we were laughing so hard. Gonna be the fourth child. Yes, and parents just said, okay, he's just the fourth kid now. We're just gonna accept this, and we're just gonna.
Online now, he's Batman's kid.
Right. So he's got two families. He's got two families now because of the comic, and they really went all the way with that. Where it wasn't just playing it like not doing a lot with her, just playing on him being the angsty one or him being the comedic one. They really went all the way with paralleling each other and the families and what were they going to go through, the risks they would take, and what they would do to save the ones they love. And they made that really, you get really invested in it. And it's hard to believe that you're now more invested in the Sonic franchise characters than you are in Marvel characters half the time now.
Yes.
And it's just sad. This is the state. Well, not sad for this movie franchise, but it's sad for the MCU now. We're excited to see Sonic 4 because we already know it's coming. And we're pretty sure you know who's going to be in it.
Yeah, in September of 2024, the producer, Toby Asher, let us know that a fourth installment will be coming and is scheduled for release March 19th of 2027.
Yes.
And we kind of found out indirectly why there was a delay. Everyone was expecting it to be next year.
Yes.
But thanks to Disney and their meddling, they
Yeah.
decided to make sure Donut Lord could not participate in the movie.
Yep.
In the filming.
Yep, he is now going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Assume he's going to be Cyclops. It's like,
yes, he is.
So
That's
it's
what he
like
originally played.
It's like, oh, so they have to push it back an extra year. Okay, then. But we can wait as long that they can work on other stuff while they wait. That'll probably work. They still got to write it and everything.
And speaking of Tom, I'll say Tom this time. Speaking of Tom, it was
His
so
dad.
funny how you told me that a lot of people didn't know the movies that James Marsden's been in.
Yes.
Well, I've been a fan. First, because he's a cutie. And then second, because I've just loved his acting. He's been in so many movies, and I think I've seen just about all of them. So when you told me that people didn't know, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, some didn't.
Besides Hop, he's been in so many others, including movies you wouldn't expect him to be in. And he's always done a good job, including Hairspray, where he played
like,
Corky,
what?
the host of the dance show. And he's always been a good guy, and I think he's being really smart with his casting, his choices of the roles he accepts, because so many people want to be the villain and do the bad roles.
Right.
But if you think about every role he's done, he's always been a good guy or a nice guy, and it works for him because it seems like that is how he is in real life, and parts of his personality come through in his role.
Yes.
So,
especially being Sonic's dad.
So you said that some people thought Hop was foreshadowing for him being in here.
Yes.
And also other roles he's done. And I think yes, because again, he's always been the nice guy. And then last thing I want to mention is how we saw some of the scenes that were deleted
from the first movie.
And you should be seeing that come up now. A quick clip of where there was a scene where it wasn't a bar.
Yes.
It wasn't a bar. And the scene definitely wouldn't have fit to us, because they showed him not being so nice. And it's like that would have totally defeated the image you have of him being the good dad and with his sons, because he was a jerk in this scene along with the other people.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad they left that out. And it also, again, doesn't go with the image that Marsden has. He's just this good guy, and he seems like a sweetheart. And he's been a prince.
Yes.
And he's been everything.
Yes.
So we're so happy that he's in this movie and they're keeping him. But pull on you, Disney.
Yeah, it's like that was dirty.
To affect them having a movie release in a timely manner so that they can get their movie out.
Yeah. But we will be patient. There's plenty of time to get it done.
Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll announce them
sooner. And we already know it's not really a spoiler because everyone's seen online. The internet has gone insane because we will have Amy in the next movie.
Yes.
And Metal Sonic.
Yes.
And are theorizing that Silver's probably going to be in it because they said there's going to be time travel elements in it. So we're going to have already a bunch of new characters show up and people losing it. Drawing Amy, she had 15 seconds.
And if you're breathing, you've seen all the fan art online. her and the shipping with Sonic. You've seen it.
If you're breathing. Yes, it's just 15 seconds and they exploded all this fan out of her. It's like she hasn't even said anything yet.
So let's quickly go over the cast, and one more little tidbit I want to add.
Okay.
Ben Schwartz, of course, is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves is Shadow the
Yes.
Hedgehog.
Perfect casting.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Miles, Tails Power. Idris Elba as Knuckles.
Yes.
Then the live action, we have Jim Carrey as both Robotnik and his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik. James Marsden, as we mentioned, as Tom Wachowski. Tika Sumter as Maddie Wachowski. Lee Majroub as Agent Stone, who actually got his props in this movie.
Yes.
At the end, finally.
Yes.
We had Kristen Ritter as Director Rockwell, and we know whose sister that is.
Yes.
Natasha Rothwell is Rachel, Maddie's sister.
Oh
Shamar
my gosh.
Moore, who's also good looking,
Yeah.
as Randall Handel. Her husband, Adam Pally as Wade Whipple, who also got his own spinoff with Knuckles.
Basically, yeah.
Adelia Brown as Maria Robotnik. Tom Butler as Commander Walters. Jorma Tacone as Kyle Lancebottom. And Sophia Pernas and Crystal Fernandez play Gabriella and the twin brothers Juan and Pablo.
Yes.
In the telenovela that was...
Oh, that was hilarious. And they still played...
Generator Rex.
Yes, and they still played into the Shadow Loves Latinas meme. It was like they referenced it in the movie.
And so the last thing we want to bring up is who's going to be in next. And everyone is speculating Silver.
Yes.
And we want Silver. And it's Rascal's idea, and I totally supported 3 billion%. Johnny Young Bosch.
Yes.
He would be perfect for many reasons. You can check out her videos that show some of the reasons why. But we got to talk in here how he was 9 in the third MHA movie.
Yes.
And his character had silver hair.
Yes.
And his character said the line,
"It's no use."
2 times. Not once, but twice. And there were any other reasons why he should be Shadow.
Yes.
Tell us what you think in the comments, but we think it would be perfect casting, right along with Colleen O'Shaughnessy and Ben and others who do the voice acting for us for the anime and Western animation and so forth.
Yes.
So if you've seen Sonic 3, and we know you have,
It
let
was
us know in the
epic!
comments what are your favorite parts. Are you excited about Amy? Do you want Johnny Young Bosch is Silver? What's your favorite ship? Is it either Amy and Sonic, or is it Silver and Blaze, or is it Silver Haze?
No, you got it right.
Okay, no, I mean the ship.
Sylvaze. Yeah.
Sylvaze. Let us know. And are you excited for the 4th movie as well? Tell us what you're expecting to see or hoping to see in the comments. If you haven't seen it, what the heck are you doing?
Right. Go!
Get out there and watch Sonic 3. You're cheating yourself of joy, joy, joy.
Yes.
And Keanu.
And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, big videos for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
And thank you so much again for subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, everything you do. As always, you are special.
Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toon-tastic day.
Peace, and we'll show you our ultimate power.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man. Who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.